Hello everyone, and welcome to Ready City Crit. I am, as always, your Dungeon Master Harna, and today I'm joined by my usual rigmarole of consistent players who can make it on time every week and don't have fucking problems like the other group. Looking at you guys.
Is that sarcasm?
Now I'm calling out the other group now, who once again will flake tomorrow, no doubt. 5 points.
How many weeks is that?
They have, lives and shit.
Yeah, they have
us.
real things to do. But
Anybody
regardless.
fancy double D&D?
D and double.
I don't prep enough. for double D&D.
That's fine. You can just
He
sit
might
there and
do
we'll
tomorrow.
roleplay for 4 hours.
Yeah,
Right.
we'll just get drunk in character and real life, and then just.
Harry, do you have the day off tomorrow?
Yeah, another day off. My
Because
first day off in like
now
4
expect
days.
George. Now George is going to be like double D&D, D&D, double D&D, double D&D, double D&D.
We'll probably end up doing our
Either way, I
Casino
get
game.
D&D.
You'll be getting your bacon and eggs in the morning, and it'll be D and D question mark in the sauce.
There's no bacon in this house. We haven't gone shopping in like 2 weeks.
Oh no.
That is untrue. We went shopping last week. We just are at the end of our week shop.
We've been at the end of the week shop for like 4 days. I've been living off crackers and tinned peaches.
That's really on you then. I've been fine. Right.
You eat at work!
Exactly. It's not my fucking problem.
That's
Right.
me.
Let's start off with Anthony.
Hello, I'm Anthony. I play Beros Darkfoot, a Satyr rogue, and I'll pass that on to Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary. I play Astra, the Tempest Cleric, who is an ASMR, and I will pass it on to Will.
Hiya, I'm Will, playing Volgia, Duergar Ranger, being less stalkerish recently, but getting there. Getting there. More friends, maybe. I'm not sure.
He's trying. He's trying.
I'll pass over to George.
Hello, I'm George. I'm playing Atlas, the Owlin Druid. I'm being more stalkerish than usual to make up for vulgar slacking, and I will pass it to Ryan.
Hello, I am Ryan, and I am playing Cyrus, the ASMR Barbarian, and I will pass it back to the lovely DM.
Pass it back to the two people that didn't do a proper introduction.
Ooh.
Regardless.
No, I'm joking.
Um,
I'm only joking.
does anyone have a recap of what happened last week?
I think I have a
Drinking
blank page.
games.
We
Many
drank some
drinking
booze.
games.
Oh god, I forgot about the drinking.
Atlas spoke to a goat who had a thing for Beros. Beros was kind of into it.
Everyone has a thing for
Had a thing
Beros.
for half of Beros.
Volgia doesn't.
The drinking
Not
games
yet.
consisted of like Never Have I Ever or Wed, Bed, Behead, Ignore, which is a new one for me. Yeah, we learned a little bit about Volgear. He has a thing about Dragonborn, not in a good way.
The
And
captain met with a dragonborn who had a stroke face.
yeah, and there was some dancing on the deck. Atlas tried to impress Nendir, or just creep her out. Not sure which, but that
And
was
then
a
knocked
thing.
herself
And
unconscious.
knocked herself unconscious and got bedridden for 2 days, I believe.
No, just the
Thanks
one
to-
day.
No,
Like one
to
and a
Ber-
half days.
1.5 days, thanks to Beros flipping the table or turning the table on Atlas, trying to get him bedridden.
We also found out that Volgear was once married, but it's a bit of a touchy subject.
So many touchy subjects.
What?
You were kind of married, and
Kind
you kind
of?
of can't go home.
I don't think you can be kind of married. I think you're either married or you're not.
He was married. now
Unless
he's
you're
kinda
engaged.
Yeah, that's kind of married, I guess.
Don't wait to be married.
not. And also, he is a dragon now.
I
that
hate it when
speaks-
couples are engaged for like years
That
and
is like
years.
that is the sole thing I've got from last session is the name.
Okay, so-
My dragon. Or my drake.
Dragon.
Nope.
Was it not Dragon?
No, it was Agdragon.
Yeah, it was
because
a
it's
dragon.
a dragon.
Ah, dragon.
Dragon.
Adragon.
A dragon.
Self-explanatory.
This is why pets don't name themselves usually.
But it has created
No.
a naming convention I will be going forward with for all my D&D characters from this point. once Atlas dies, be prepared for an elf.
An elf. Adragon.
An elf.
Born.
An elf.
Born spelled Bourne.
Yeah, I'm
Adragon
Mr. Bourne. What's your first name? Adragon.
Adragon.
Alrighty, so when we last left off, all that shit happened, and then you rested, and you continue on your journey heading towards Tilm, the floating island majocracy of the High Elves. You've been traveling now for about 7 days. You made good time despite that. You're about 4 days ahead of schedule. So you're making very good time for your intersect, which was previously going to be about a 25-day journey. It's looking like it could be as close as 21. So you'd be this would be a third of you've cleared well over, like, you're nearing a half of what would have been your original journey. If things went tits up now, you'd be about a third of the way through. But if things keep going where they're going, you could be less than halfway there.
Cool.
So, is there anything you would like to do before I start making you roll for day-to-day shit?
Am I free yet?
I believe... I think when we left, you were still in the clutches of a certain medic.
I think we're
And I
getting
guess
high
I
today.
won't be going anywhere.
You'll be
I
getting
think
free
to-
sometime today.
Is today we're drinking booze and getting high on shrooms? Is
I think that was what was discussed.
that was the
That was the
that
plan.
was the plan. Nope. Cyrus is probably gonna stick to his routine. Get up, assist in the engineer. Galadrius fixing the ship because it's got holes.
They're multiplying.
Beros will probably go and just make small talk with Kaelin Stormwind. Specifically just about the difference between a Tev and a airship.
Cool. On that regard, then, let's have our lovely navigator make a repair check, please.
Hang on, I'm not in the game.
Not navigator, sorry, engineer.
There we go.
Sweet. 8.
8 is not enough. So it's been a lot of time. Actually, you're assisting, so you can give advantage.
Oh, sweet. 8.
Yep, you spend a lot of time working on it. Doesn't fucking do shit though.
The god said 8.
Let's have our navigator roll me a navigator tools check to see how your day goes.
21.
One good. That is a gain a day's travel. So you
Traveling so damn fast.
Because the ship's technically lighter now. It's got holes in it.
more
A little less ship, a little faster.
Less wind resistance.
We'll knock a week off if we throw Cyrus overboard.
Oh,
No,
you call
why
him
not?
fat?
Why did
We'll
I
knock-
bother picking you up when you decided
I was
to
about to
jump
say-
off the ship?
We'll
Let's have
gain a week if we just don't leave. If we just leave Beros next time he jumps off.
let's have Astra roll a onboard hazard, and let's have Volgear roll offboard, please.
59.
No hazards.
35.
Marvelous. You continue on your journey. Beros, as you kind of like seek out Kayla. Oh, forgive me, I'm up for like fucking early as fuck. You go seek out Kalen. He kind of like this like wood elf with like storm grey eyes and like kind of like, you know, quite gun-hoedness about him. Yeah, he's just kind of goes like, difference between flying a Tev and an airship? I suppose there's probably a lot. I've not had the pleasure of flying a Tev myself. I tend to stick to this planet.
I suppose that is true. Could you show me a few details on how to, on your day to day? Maybe I could shadow you for the day, just in case I ever need to, you know, take control of a ship this size.
Sure. All right. You have to remember it's a big ship. Pulling out tight turns and hard bank maneuvers and things, it's possible, but you're probably going to damage it. Tevs are a little bit different. Up there's no atmosphere to contend with, so you can do a lot more sharp things as opposed to this. You've got to go with the momentum. You've got to go move with it. Up there, you can. It depends on the ship, I guess. But with this one, you kind of have to. I think this requires more skill.
Then I am your student. And I'll just kind of spend some time kind of watching him, comparing the turns between a Tev and the Starwind.
And like he kind of walks you through it. A lot of his day to day is he spends a lot of time communicating with the navigator, working out what bearing he needs to be heading at, like what landmarks to look out for. Like although they are also present, also doing that. Like as a pilot, he needs to be aware of where they're going and how they're getting there. Like she can tell him go at this bearing for 200 miles, whatever. And I was like, yep, cool. But he seems to be a lot more hands-on. He's to push for the information, likes to know where the ship needs to be, and if he can give assistance or anything he can do to make it better for everyone. Make me just a general, let's call it intelligence check.
Yeah.
It's 15. Okay. After like quite a calm day, the winds aren't too bad, and it seems relatively easy going. Kaelin has kind of like, he's walking you through, he's like, this is the wheel, this is the throttle, this controls the rear rudder. Like, so the ship has, it can bank left, right, up, down, it can ascend, it can like increase its thrust or decrease its thrust, like raise and lower itself, as well as its forward and back momentum. So, there's a lot of angles you're playing with here. There's a lot of like throttle, because there's no joystick to control it or anything like that. You're turning a wheel to go left or right, you're pushing a lever forward and back, you're pulling a lever up and down to go up and down. So there's a lot of like turning the wheel while twisting the lever. Like, so there's a lot of like multi-handed things required to do. Whereas a Tev would probably be more innovative and simple. It's almost the way airships and this kind of like magical technology has been formed together. It almost becomes clunky the way they interact, whereas a Tev is almost pure like perfect technomancy. It's like that perfect combination, like it has been perfected. This is a wooden ship that has been made to fly with magic. Technomancy really relies more on that artificer kind of like style, more how to turn the mechanical to support each other as opposed to like making it work. But you're picking up pretty well, and that's when Kaelin looks at you and goes like, I normally find the best way to learn is to just do it. And he throws the ship into a hard left bank and then pulls all the levers down to 0, and you begin to enter just a slight corkscrew nosedive turn, and he just steps back from the wheel.
I will immediately jump on the
Beros
wheel.
got to drive the ship before me. What the fuck?
Beros went and spent time with Kaelin. No one made an effort to do. Okay, so you are now you get to the station, Beros. First up, I need you to make me an initiative check to see how quick you are to get to the jump.
This is where we all die.
Okay,
That is a 26.
perfect. So you almost see what's happening as soon as he steps away, you leap into position. The panic begins to set in, Beros, because as you begin to fall, you hear a few members of the crew like actually get concerned. You hear like people's lives are genuinely potentially in danger right now for what effectively should be a training maneuver. I need you to make me, just for your like focus in the situation, this is going to be just a wisdom check, just to see as you kind of like everything you've taken in so far, what you have in your head, just to like. You get 19. So first thing you do, you find the controller controls the up-down thrust, and you fire it as high as you can. You actually overshoot it, potentially. The ship is still like turning down and to the left, so if you don't do anything about it, it's probably going to pivot over itself and start flipping and spinning out. But you're no longer plummeting down. So the 0, like that almost zero gravity, like I'm about to fall, like float off the ground. Like the weightlessness kind of like slams up as you feel like the weight under your feet again. A quick scan. You kind of are familiar with controls now with the 19. Make me a dexterity check to see how you can like to try to get yourself out of this corkscrew.
Oh, 6.
You, again, much like how you grab the up-down thruster, you push the like the yaw effectively all the way up, and where before the ship was kind of like turning down and beginning to like fall back on itself, you actually shunt it so the nose drops hard and like it begins to tilt like a seesaw going the wrong way, almost over. There is definitely like a little moment of panic, and you're still entering this hard bank. Seeing you struggling, Kaelin says over your shoulder, very calmly, you need to steer against where you're going with your wheel first. Use the momentum. Remember, you have to fight the gravity here, the air. So you make me another dexterity check, this time with advantage, as Kaelin gives you some instruction. 10. You try to follow it as best you can. You grab the wheel and you begin cranking it back, but the amount of tension on the engine and on the rudder, it takes you a long time, and by the time you get the ship like to a point where you can almost begin to counter steer, like the nose is getting too dangerous and you have to like almost abort, and as you let go, the yaw, it like pulls itself back and you watch as the wheel begins to spin like back all the distance you just pulled it, as you are forced to go and like try to recorrect the yaw. For this, just make me an intelligence check to see how you can find the correct spot. 11.
11.
You find it, you balance it out just about. The ship is now just like doing loops in itself, but it's no longer diving. So you've stabilized yourself to a degree. You come out of the crash. And with that, Kaelin steps up, puts his hand on the still spinning wheel, and the whole ship, like everyone gets lurched a good like few foot to the left as the ship suddenly stop, and he just corrects it back on course with his one hand and like kind of steps aside and puts you back to standing over his shoulder. Doesn't say anything.
Well, that is one way to learn, indeed. I think a few of the crew may have peed themselves a little.
Yeah, Lyra left probably lost the
Myself
lunch. That's when Atlas comes upstairs. Atlas, Lyra has sent you to look for a bucket and a mop because she's vomited in the medical bay.
There's me wondering how the hungover birdie was doing.
Imagine if anybody downstairs could hear there was a crash and a bang and a fuck from the engine room.
That's probably why the like repairs go badly. All of Gladys's tools went flying out the back.
You're just there like halfway
"Fuck!"
through, very like, careful, yeet.
You hear on the little tin can next to the wheel, Galadriel yelling, I'm like, what the fuck was that? What was that? It's like, and then Kaelin takes it and goes like, sorry, birds. And then like puts it back down again.
I wonder if that happens with airships, like every now and then, like, you know when you like drive through like a cloud of flies, they just like drive through some seagulls, like, oh, gross.
But yeah.
That's like one of the like hazing jobs when you first know to do is like go scrape the seagulls off the front of the ship.
They don't go that fast.
Meow.
They go like 20 miles an hour.
How sturdy is a
Just
seagull?
so every
Starting as a seagull.
so often the person that's up in the crow's nest just gets a seagull to the face.
It is a
Nothing
thing
on
that
the port
happens.
side.
Like on cruise ships, every now and then you'll be like miles out of sea and you'll just see like a bird. It's like, where did you come from? Where are you going? Why are you here?
And it's like, you're mine.
Also, everyone's like, if the bird lands on the ship, it's bad luck. It's like, if the bird lands on the ship, he's probably tired because he's flying
It
across
means
the
you're very
entire
far
ocean.
away from land.
I thought birds meant you're near land.
Hmm?
Do birds not signal land?
Yeah, but if they fly overhead.
Yeah, but
they'd
birds also
land
fly
on you.
across entire seas, like when they're migrating.
Yeah, if
Like
they-
most
if
of
they
our
land
birds in
on
the
you-
winter go to Africa.
Yeah.
And they come back, you're getting dive bombed by freaking swallows for flies.
I doubt birds really want to land on a giant cruise ship filled with very loud, probably semi-drunk people.
Semi-drunk.
Probably sound like
Depends on the cruise
seagulls
ship.
themselves.
Depends on the cruise ship.
Birds
Yeah.
have a concept of drunk.
No, they have a concept of noise and potential
They can
danger.
probably get drunk. Wasps can get drunk. And elephants.
Like, I'm pretty sure the Belfast seagulls do.
Lyra storms onto the deck and yells, "What the hell was that?"
Birds.
Don't look at me, I didn't do anything.
Big birds.
Again, I didn't do anything.
They were quite large.
Right. Dum dum dum. Back downstairs.
I feel like Astra's
Also,
probably
it's
looking
okay,
around
it's-
and said big birds, like, I don't see anything.
Atlas will approach Astra and be like, I need you to take a mop and bucket down to the medical bay.
Astra will trudge down.
I'm
Really
not
wish
going
I'd
back, I got
pressed it.
sweet, sweet freedom.
Now you know how it feels.
You just see someone poof out and just go, you, come on, back down.
Yeah. Is there
What's
anything else you
Volgear
would like to do
doing?
today?
So if everyone's taking turns flying the ship, is it my turn now?
Oh God.
Speaks to the lovely Galen.
You can hold the wheel if you want.
Immediately bounce up.
I think Volgear's gonna go, because he spent so much time with the gunner all the last, he's gonna go over and spend some time with the gunner as well.
I feel like Atlas approaches the wheel and everyone just grabs onto whatever's next
What's
to
your
them.
passive perception, Atlas?
I feel like
It is 17.
Alright.
I feel like Kaelin probably did something so the wheel couldn't move.
Like, let me just
It's
put
like,
this
what's
on
autopilot?
lock.
Atlas doesn't know.
Course.
Yeah, no, literally what I was about to say was
He's on
I'm
cruise
literally making him,
control.
I was literally making him make a sleight of hand check right now. He rolled a 16. So you see before he steps away, Atlas, he does something to the wheels he's stepping away, but you're not shadowed him, so you're not really sure what that would do. That might just be like, you know, getting it ready or engaged, like you're not entirely sure, but he definitely did something. Barros, you just realized the fact that he's engaged in what is called the wheel lock, which is
Insight
effectively
check.
it's not an insight check, it would be an intelligence check to try to work out like
Intelligence?
what he's
Just
done.
straight intelligence.
Arcana, maybe. But Barris, because you've been shouting
I'm not very
him,
good at
this is
either
the
of
control he
those.
uses whenever he gets the bearing from the navigator.
I don't have a fucking clue
He
what
lines the
that
ship
does.
up, and then he engages this, and in fact he just locks the wheel in place so that it can't like wind or things can't knock it off course.
It's essentially cruise control.
Yeah. It's not cruise control. It's kind of like, because like the speed can
Autopilot.
still be. Yeah, in a way, in a sense, it's autopilot. It's more like, you know, it's like having a hotkey of like hold down like the throttle and this pace and don't move anything else.
W.
Yeah.
Like, putting up the barriers and bowling.
Yeah.
You can't
Regardless, Atlas is thrilled to hold the
Atlas, you know what it is, and you hold the wheel, Atlas, and Atlas, the wheel had a little bit of turn to it, so you can give it a little bit, but it does seem to like clunk to the side every now and again.
You turn to him and be like, you don't trust me?
Just like, whenever you teach a child how to ride a bicycle, if you don't give them stabilizers, they might fall and hurt themselves.
Similar name to my brother, similar sentiment to my brother. It's like being back home.
Sure. And then he kicks the wheel, and you hear the lock disengage, and suddenly begins turning to the left.
Yes! Try and straighten that shit up.
Make me a dexterity check.
He's okay on
I was like teaching Atlas,
Nope.
training wheels on a bicycle, teaching Barros, throwing kid in the pool without a floaty.
The ship begins
It's
to pivot
putting the kid
hard
on the
to
bike
left.
and then pushing the bike down the hill.
And then Kalen flips up another lever while you're busy with the wheel. He just flips a random lever, and the ship begins to like suddenly turn into like you're like in a left bank now, beginning to turn up into like what is effectively turning into a barrel roll.
Is there any way for me to fix this?
Yeah, if you want to try to correct it, you can make a like an intelligence check or wisdom check. Sorry, just to like try to go with your gut, because you've not really spent much time studying the system.
I feel
In
like
the engineer
Astra's
room.
holding a bucket to Lireleth's face.
24.
You find the yaw and you correct it out. You bring yourself out of the barrel roll and now you're just back in this like big roundabout turn that you're in, and the ship is like banking into it more and more. Like it's like you're beginning to like get like almost like a 30-40 degree angle as the ship's beginning to just pick up speed at this angle.
You hear another crash
Yep.
from the engineer room.
You know that the ship has now picked up enough speed where to pull it out of this spin is going to require a pretty strong dex check.
Oh dear.
I'll
God almighty.
try.
Yep.
I'll lean into the communication kind of thing for the engine room and be like, sorry, it seems that there's more migrating birds.
So many birds. I mean, it's
bird is actually
technically
causing
not
the
a lie
issue
to
this
say this is
time.
being caused by bird.
It must
Sorry,
be migration season.
You'll hear back over the comm. Barros, I swear to God, if there's not a bird up there when I come up, I'm going to throw you off this boat.
Atlas, you level the ship off as best you can, and you see like it begins to get there. And it took a fair bit of effort on your part. But yeah, the ship levels off, and then Kalen like reaches his foot over and taps the side again on the button, and you feel the wheel lock up again.
I think I did okay.
Yeah,
Cyrus,
fine.
Cyrus emerges from downstairs, staring at Barros. Where are the birds?
I'll point to
Atlas still holding the wheel.
I told you it was
feel
a
like-
big bird.
I feel like Astra comes up covered in vomit that's not hers. Like, what the hell is going? What's the equivalent? It's like, what is going on up here?
What in the realm?
we encountered the big bird.
The captain comes out of their quarters and is looking around and is like, anyone else feeling a little bit woozy? Are we going in one direction or like 10?
I feel like Astra kind of turns and looks at them, still covered in vomit, just like,
Oh, gross. You need to wash.
it's not mine. But first things first, like seeing Atlas still on the wheel, just goes up and wipes the vomit on her, then goes washes.
You hear what can only be described as a pterodactyl screech from inside the mask, and Atlas just immediately reaches in her bag, opens a bottle of alcohol. She normally has a little flask of alcohol, and just starts pouring it over herself. You trying to kill me?
Will you try to kill us? She just like and washes.
Atlas is frantically shedding any clothes with puke on.
Moonshadow grabs, pops up one of the water barrels on deck, gets a bucket, and then just throws it over Astra. Just like,
Astra's not fit. It's just like, thank you.
and then she goes again, and she just tries to get you she won't actually get you in the back as well. She's like, you're really covered. Sorry, you stink.
That's fair.
And then she fills
Is
it up
there any more
again,
of
and you
that?
watch as she goes back down below deck, and you hear a scream as Lireleth gets soaked in ice cold water.
Atlas
starting
will
to
shed
understand
the
why
entire
Galadriel
top
smokes.
layer of her clothing in franticness. So there's just a half-naked owl, but she is feathered. Oh, and you will actually see Atlas has like a metal tube kind of here with a cap on it, and two more kind of on her ribs. They kind of have like scarring and a lack of feathers around. And she's just frantically shaking her hands, tries to go down below deck.
Erevan walks past the topless Atlas, is like, gross, and then just goes up to the ballista and sits himself down, and then ugh. Yeah, anything else you would like to do today?
I'm
I would
starting
like to
understand why
disinfect
Galadriel
myself
smokes.
70,000 times.
I think Volga is going to be
I would like to
watching
use
you for the-
all of the ship's water supply in constant washing.
You will get stopped.
Volga is just going to be watching the ship's wheel now, and anyone that's not the not the helmsman approaches it, he's going to start tying himself off to something that's not moving with very quick succession. Otherwise, he's going to spend some time with the gunner after the last.
Yeah, I mean, Erevan again. Erevan doesn't really speak much. He's sitting next to him. He's currently sharpening the ballista bolts, doing a little inventory count and check. Yeah.
Just hand. Just says yes. I'll give him a hand sharpening and
Hands you a ballista bolt, hands you a whetstone, and pulls another one out and just continues bringing them to a point. You see he
just
begins
gonna ask
checking the
him.
fletching on the end and stuff.
couldn't double check. These the right ones. These aren't the ones that don't fit.
They were the ones that don't fit. I cut them down to size. I've had to redo the fletching. He spins it around, shows you.
Strange. Must be a very good skill to have.
Bit of a pain in the ass and that big. The wood can... In an arrow you can do with a little dagger, a little lock. You need a saw to get through these things. Takes time. But I've got about a quarter of them done. But making them sure that they're not going to have as much weight behind them, so I need to make sure that tip is sharp.
Well, gonna go furiously outwards. See if I can make one sharp enough that even impresses him.
They're like three-pronged. They're not like a flathead. They're like a little three-prong, almost like a grappling hook, like brought to a point. Is the best way to describe it. So whatever they stick into, they can stick into. You know.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can just make me a general. Let's call it. It would probably be like either a wisdom smith's tools check or a dexterity smith's tools check. If you don't have smith's tools, you could use just general sleight of hand, I guess. Yeah, 15. You get like a couple like pretty sharp, like good enough that you know they whenever you tap the top lightly, they begin like they prick your skin almost like a needle. Yeah. Erevan gives a little nod. He seems a little bit impressed.
What's the rule for baking dinner for the crew?
That is either a cook's utensils check or a survival
have
check.
those. Okay. Cyrus may offer to cook dinner tonight.
Okay. Cyrus is cooking dinner. Roll it, Cyrus.
Can I assist him?
Does Cyrus want help in the kitchen?
Does Cyrus get
will-
a choice in that, or does Barrows just walk in and start adding spices to shit?
It's probably going to be the latter, but also, if something doesn't look right, could you please let me know? I don't cook very often.
So Cyrus is there. He's got the mixing bowl. He's like,
Feels
you know,
like very familiar
throwing
situation.
ingredients together. And then Barros comes up behind Cyrus, puts his arms over his arms, and helps him mix them. And Cyrus is like, oh!
Ghost.
Who started playing this music?
With the
Just come up and whisper into Cyrus's ear. It needs more salt.
I'm never gonna dance again. Damn it! I'm trying to cook.
Yeah, Barros will just like nonchalantly barge into the kitchen and just announce that he's helping and be wearing a little apron and hat that
Where
he's
did he even get that from?
That says kiss the cook.
Maybe. I had it made. I can't go anywhere that with a kitchen that and I'm not prepared. Oh, that needs more spice. That needs more chili.
It's you notice the apron's like quite frilly and done up, and like it's definitely like probably belongs to Nendir. You would summarize.
Oh, I found it over there in one of the sleeping quarters. I'm sure it's fine.
Oh,
You find it in a box that also contains things like a police officer's uniform, like a maid's uniform, like the list goes on, but you get the gist.
He's like, man, some of these are weirdly specific.
This is the skimpiest guard outfit I've ever seen in my life. Oh well.
You can help, but please just chop the vegetables over there away from me. Are you wearing anything under that apron?
You want to go find out?
No. No, I don't. I'm not looking. I don't. Continues to slice the meat.
I don't wear pants anyway. I don't know what your issue is.
Hey, Winnie the
Give
Pooh's
me
it all the
Mamma
time.
Mia vibes.
Like,
But
to
it
you, I'm
does
just
reach the
shirtless.
point where, like, if a character has no pants on 90% of the time, the second they then put pants on, it becomes weird.
Yeah,
Like,
Donald
why
Duck.
weren't you wearing those all the time?
Donald Duck, when he steps out of the shower, he wraps the towel around his waist.
Yeah, and then
But
he puts
all
on the
other
shirt. It's like,
times- Donald, what kind of supplies are on the ship for food?
You guys got pretty fresh supplies because you recently just touched down on land. So you have a really good selection of root vegetables, fruits. You have some probably like lightly cured meats. Definitely salted meats quite heavily in the ration stores. There is probably the odd cut of fresh meat, but it's things like thick cuts of like a big leg of like lamb, or like a big like cut of, you know, like effectively if you were to carve it up you could probably turn this into steaks of some kind, but it's the whole thing so it can like cure and last a bit longer, you know, it's resting almost still, you know. Food that would last on the journey, but it's still fresh.
He's probably gonna try and make something simple like a shepherd's pie.
Yeah, perfect.
but it's got a fun name like Warrior Pie.
Barros will just be cutting vegetables, grabs a carrot, starts crying.
Are you okay?
It is just the vegetables, you know, the onions.
You're cutting a carrot.
Oh, so am I. So I am. Oh, okay then. I stop crying.
Don't cry, you'll make it salty.
It fucking needs it.
Then add some salt.
Cry harder, bitch.
Add some salt and then sneaks in a couple of chili flakes in there, just to add some flavor.
Add a little bit of spice.
The hottest shepherd's pie in existence.
Every shepherd's pie needs Tabasco. If you're not putting Tabasco in shepherd's pie, you're doing it wrong. Sorry.
Worcestershire sauce.
So what
is
does what does a 17 get me?
It's a good meal. It's well received by the crew. They you know, it definitely gets some people talking. Yeah, it's a good.
Second chef.
Atlas does not join for dinner.
Why? Cyrus will take a plate and look for Atlas.
Sure. How easy is it to find Atlas?
She's probably trying to hide out somewhat, but
Okay.
not
Then make a stealth
in a
check.
box or anything.
They make a stealth check at disadvantage.
He's in the water barrel.
In a water barrel. I don't know how to make it disadvantage.
Well, that's the first one was a nat 20. So roll
The
again.
second one was also a nat 20.
What's your
Oh
passive?
my
Well, make an active perception check, Cyrus.
I'm never gonna do that ever again.
Oh Jesus.
Cyrus, you search and you search and you search, but Atlas may have gone overboard.
Atlas is gonna stand on. Cyrus is gonna stand in the middle of the top deck and just yell, "I made this in the kitchen, and you're gonna eat it!"
You hear no response. I mean, you hear no response from Atlas. I don't know what kind of response you'll get from the rest of the crew.
Erevan like looks over for the bliss and is like, "I've already eaten. I went down early. It was good. It was nice. Okay, is that what you want? Is it because I didn't say thank you?"
No. You're welcome. It's fine. Where's the bird?
What bird? Last I saw, she went below decks. That was
Atlas.
time ago.
Right. Thank you. Goes downstairs. Goes to Atlas's room.
I think
Atlas
we
doesn't
have the
have a
same room.
You all share a communal bunk. Yeah, communal bunk
Sets
space.
it
with the
on.
crew.
Sets it on whichever bed she's been sleeping in.
It's better because of the hammock.
Balances it.
Atlas
on the
goes to
hammock.
sleep tonight and is like, somebody put mincemeat in my bed. What the fuck?
No, he sets the plate so that it's like balanced on the hammock so it won't spill unless it gets rocked.
On the moving ship in the air. That never happens.
Want to leave a note?
Atlas creeping into bed late at night, lays in shepherd's pie, like, ah!
I made this. Eat it, Cyrus.
Astra will probably go down to Lorelef after food if Atlas interrupts, like, how does one make a nice smelling disinfectant?
It really depends what we have. And she goes through a few things. She pulls like a selection of like herbs, like mint and things like that. And kind of makes like a very mild disinfectant for you. It's more like a salve, more like something you'd apply to a wound probably than like a disinfectant spray that we would expect. But the theory is still there. You could smear it over a large area, or
Does she have any lavender?
Oh yeah, she would have lavender if you want to add to it. She'd be like, we won't need to do much, but yeah, it'll help.
Okay, this should suffice, I think. Thank you. And she scurries off. She doesn't. As she goes into the room, she probably sees the bed. She's like, okay, and then just like finds a different paper and writes, "I'm sorry," and then Astra, and then scurries off. Hope this will help. Like, she doesn't outrightly go to find Atlas.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck finding me with that double nat 20.
You stealthed so well, even you don't know where you are on the ship.
I have a
I'm
vague
curious
idea
to
where I might
see-
be on the ship, but like, yeah, I don't know.
I'll
She's
roll.
definitely-
Maybe she's
Stealth.
not on the ship at all.
Flying underneath it.
I'm about to say you stealth so well. I'm jealous from my last character.
think
A
maybe-
nat 20 twice on a
At
disadvantage
fucking
stealth
level-
check is
at
dumb,
level
by the way.
3.
A nat-
At level 3.
A nat 20 twice at a disadvantage is like the most power a player can have. It's like, you get
Come on,
disadvantage,
George.
it's like, no, I don't.
Can you do it a third time, George?
No.
No.
I think the
not
last
bad.
time I rolled 2 nat 20s wasn't... No, it was consecutive, and it was... I rolled a nat 20 when I was on death saves to get up again, then Harry knocked me down again, and then I rolled another nat 20 to get back up again. Like, no, I'm not down.
At that point, Harry was checking your dice because I'm sure
That was
in
the night where
uh,
you forced me to swap over dice like 4 times, because you were like, no, you're rolling too well.
I'm gonna pull your mic a little.
You gave me
Alright,
loaded
way too loud.
dice.
Yeah, side thing. They weren't George's dice; they were Harry's.
You fight like your sister.
Uh,
I fought your
maybe
sister.
have-
That's a
I
compliment.
think
Compliment.
I think Golgear's gonna eat, and then he's gonna disappear off.
I might roll perception to see if Astra can
Oh, yeah.
spot Atlas, but she won't go towards her.
Cyrus
Roll
is going to get
Do I
an
have to roll
eel.
stealth again?
Nah,
And
you
he
can keep
will-
your original check. Oh, she just gets it.
Oh.
Just. Yeah, Astra does spot you, Atlas. Where have you hidden out?
I don't know. Where on the
Crow's nest?
ship would be a good spot to hide? Where's not
In a
not
dark
very
corner behind some
populated?
barrels.
Yeah, like down in the hold, or maybe out on one of the like little wings, like on the side wings, or
I'll hang out on a side wing. If I fall off, I can fly.
so Atlas is
Or-
probably like brace yourself against one of the little side wings, like leaning up against the side of the ship. So when Cyrus like looking over the edge and stuff, he was looking like across, like looking for someone flying that they didn't ever think to look down and probably would have seen her.
You definitely heard me.
Another place you could have been hidden behind the book's crow's nest.
Atlas in a book fort, like.
Cyrus is probably going to get 2 eels, bring one to Barrows, and be like, a successful dinner. Everyone seems
That's-
to enjoy it.
As Volgear leaves, if
They
he
did
sees
indeed.
them getting some ales, he's going to turn back round and go, change my mind?
Sure. Cyrus will go and pour through.
Oh, well, go. Stuff.
Nope,
Where did-
I got it. Pour.
Oh.
And
If Astra's, when she goes to bed, if Atlas is still there, it's like, Cyrus made you food. It's on your bed, just so you don't accidentally step into it or sit in it or something. And she hurries off.
You do a lot of scurrying for someone in chainmail. Scurry, scurry, scurry.
She tries. She shuffles.
Can we get a
Fantastic.
freaking bell on her or something?
Ding, ding.
Like,
I
hey,
know
gotta go
Atlas
faster,
would look
that's
adorable in a
after.
bell. It would ruin her stealth advantage, but she'd look adorable.
I think with
Owl with a big bell.
everyone sat around.
Kaelin will join you guys for a drink after convincing Lariel Moonshadow to take the helm from him.
Hello.
I'll
Right.
So, Volgir, considering
Oh,
Cyrus made you such a lovely dinner, I think you should move them lips a little bit more and tell us all about this hatred for dragon bonds.
it's not a hatred for Dragon. It's a hatred for one particular Dragonborn. But the problem is, from my eyes, they look all too similar. Big, scaly thing.
That's not a little bit racist, is it not?
Does this particular Dragonborn have a particular skin color and name?
Maybe.
Or a particular magic.
Maybe not.
Maybe you. I mean,
Breath style?
you should probably get it. He says, looking at Beros, and maybe I get the celestial one. Maybe not understand, but like, how long have we been at war with the Dragonborn for? Of course, they're gonna fucking have wronged some of you at some point.
That is true, but Volgir has a specific hate for.
There's war and then there's personal vendettas. And this definitely feels personal.
And don't get me wrong, I love a vendetta as much as the next. I've got at least 12.
Mhm.
But, you know, when Volgir has one, it's a little bit different. He's a little bit more intense.
Oh. We'll see. I've got my my methods for getting rid of my hatred. Pats the little one on the shoulder. I will feed you.
Well,
And just feeds him a little piece of meat. Just like, I will make you nice and big and strong. Then you can swallow all the dragon balls you want.
As long as no satyrs are involved, he can eat anyone.
Look, I could eat anyone I desire to.
What did he say?
I said I could eat anyone I desire to.
What did he say?
I could eat anyone I desire to.
Cyrus just his.
Just get more and more high pitched.
Normal!
You may need to translate for your
At this
little
rate, I feel like if he has to repeat it again, he's just gonna shoot the lightning out rather than actually say it a fourth time.
He's he's walking on the spot and Volker's would like step on his heels like, let me at him, it is an uncouth gentleman, I will have his head. His little feet are dragging on the wood paneling on the floor.
I will puff him
Not
my-
everyone speaks Draconic.
Cyrus is going
Be
to
careful.
get a bowl.
Uneducated buffoon. He
Cyrus,
does
I
not
agree.
speak the one true language.
he's going to get a bowl, go to the eel casket, pour a little into the bowl, and set it on the floor in front of the dragon.
On the floor.
Where is he? Is he on the table or on the
He's
floor?
gonna look at the floor, look at the floor, look at you.
Is
He's
the-
sat on Volga's shoulder, trying to work out what the fuck you've done. Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought he was on the floor trying to, like, go around the table towards it. He'll set it on
He's
the
trying
table.
to jump on the table.
It does
yeah.
seem natural this lesser being would desire to drink from the ground.
He sets it on the
I think
table.
that's for you.
He sets it on the table.
What
and
an
pushes it
insult
toward-
that I would eat from the floor.
No, he'll put it on the table and push the bowl towards the dragon.
You'll scurry
He's
down.
offering you
Volga's arm.
he's making you an offering.
Takes the bowl.
Just gonna look at that. I'm just gonna look over and just go, you sure you want to make a drunk Drake? You can be the one with the lightning bolt up your ass when it gets a bit too drunk
I
later.
mean, he's a bit of an asshole when he's sober, so maybe if he's drunk, he's a little bit less like an asshole. Like
oh
you.
yes,
I don't
you can
understand
speak
what he's.
Draconic, can't you? I forgot about that.
I
You
don't understand what
he's
he's
saying.
No, I
understand
don't.
what he's saying.
Oh, do you
but,
not? I thought you did.
No,
This
I speak
substance
Elvish.
tastes off.
I don't understand what it says, but I like its spirit.
No, I only speak. I speak Elvish and Common. Oh, and a bit of.
Oh, it's the Elvish.
Bit of
that
thieves'
people
cant.
speak. Ah, yes.
No, but like owner, like dragon.
What?
A little bit more talkative when you get some ale down them.
If
maybe
if
maybe
all
I
those
just
little,
meant you to think that.
if all those little growls were words, then surely the dragon's more talkative than Volgir.
It's more he's just repeating the same thing 8 times because he's getting annoyed that you won't understand him.
I mean, you could translate.
I'd be here all day. Because everything that's been done so far he is not happy with.
Can he understand me? Can he understand Common?
What's he saying?
That's it, that's it. Ew.
Okay. I thought it just would have been strange if he could understand me, but
No.
didn't speak
What has to be
language.
clear is, a dragon is doing the thing that every British tourist does when they're on holiday, and it's like, I would like to buy this watch.
Volume and slow equals you should understand.
No speak English. Buy the watch. That's literally what he's doing. Like he's horrible. He's a horrible person.
No.
So you going to reveal anything about your past? We don't even know where you've come from. You could be from any planet.
Oh, I Fine. I give you 3 questions.
3 questions.
Oh, ask him where
That
he
was
found
one.
me.
Yes, 3 questions. Now that's 2.
Who was your wife?
Oh, I regret giving you 2 more questions.
Will frantically reading backstory.
Will is frantically reading backstory.
Oh yeah, I had a wife and she had a name too.
She was called my wife.
See-
She was
I got married so good.
she was called a
I was
wife.
just about to take a drink. I'm glad I paused.
I just taken this like the tiniest little sip. It was just bubbly.
Please can everything in Volgar's past just be called a something? Like his wife is called a wife and the nemesis is called a nemesis.
No, you have to you have to break it down more. It's like a nemesis.
A nemesis.
It becomes like a thing.
A wife.
A nemesis.
A whiff.
A whiff.
Apparently that was the
And
name
then
for
if you
one
have
of the
kids,
states.
it's just kiddo.
No, it's a son and a daughter.
Kiddos.
A daughter does sound like a dwarvish name.
A daughter.
A daughter. Spelled like A-D-O, like
D. A
Yeah.
daughter.
a daughter.
Harry frantically making
Well-
a reference for when we visit the dwarf planet.
I could use a cheapskate to get out of your question, but I won't.
I mean, it
never
was
did
a
quite
cheap
get
question.
married. I was only ever engaged, but we almost got. Very good.
Dodged the bullet there,
I
friend.
considered us married.
Did she call off?
She
the
obviously
wedding,
didn't.
or- You're not gonna
She was
answer me,
sitting
are you?
thinking to herself when they
What
wonder
was your
why.
question?
It was still a bit
What
why.
were you saying?
No, Cyrus. We only have one more question. We need more important information.
Oh,
I'll give Cyrus a free one
Oh, you
for
bastard.
getting the ale.
did she call off the wedding, or was there another man?
There was a very tall, scaly one.
Ah, that would explain the dragonborn hatred.
Yes, but do we think there was something deeper there, or do you reckon it's
Well,
just as simple as ran off with a dragon bone? Because
if I
everybody said that there.
if I get one more question, it is why would simply there being another man cause you to leave your planet?
You've obviously been paying attention to my rambling spiels.
Yeah, well, you said
I need to learn to hold my liquor a bit better.
You said a bit yesterday, so I'm just curious. Because you said you can't return home.
I can't return home now. I can return home in a while. Because I'm gonna go back, whether they like it.
Fair enough. He's gonna grab your cup and go back to the case and start filling it up.
We gotta
again.
get this man drunker.
Well, he's gonna fill up everybody's.
Where are you
but
guys
he goes for
drinking, by the
Volgear's
way?
cup.
Are you like in the kitchen, like in a house party
I
style?
mean,
or are
I'm
you,
technically not here at all.
mess
I'm
hall?
just chatting away.
So you're like where you had dinner, okay.
Yeah.
While that's happening, is Atlas and Astro doing anything?
It will be 2 seconds.
I think Astra scurried off, didn't she?
Yeah, Astra's back with the others.
Okay,
like,
so you've joined the group.
yeah.
Atlas.
Not
anything?
saying anything, but absorbing information.
Alice is still skulking.
Okay.
Until someone's like, "Hey, can you stop being on the wing? You're fucking up our dynamics here. We're not as efficient if you're on there."
Astra will probably lean over to Cyrus like, Atlas is on the wing.
Mm.
You
To
hear
make sure.
Atlas while this conversation is happening. Someone like climbing over the balcony next to you, and when you look up, you see Nendir has like scurried her way down, sits next to you.
You should be careful. You can't fall.
I'm fine.
If you fall, you just die.
No, I have my featherfold. I'll be fine. You good?
Mm-hmm. All good. Kind of looks down her hands. Her hands are just like red raw from her scrubbing at them.
Ouch. You're probably fine, you know. Lyrala's not got any like bacteria or diseases. She's like the medic. She's pretty fairly clean. She just gets motion sick.
My father always warned me that going to other planets was unsafe because I didn't know what other races carried.
We're not that dirty elves.
I'm not saying you are. I just can't risk it. Can't risk getting sick. Not here. No doctors.
You have Lyralas. She could do something.
Not to me. I've got one doctor who can fix me, and he's all the way back home. So I can't get sick until I get back home. When I was born, my parents called all the medics they could think of. Clerics and druids. And anyone they thought could heal me. And the only one who could heal me was an absolute nut job. So can't get sick until I get back home.
Well, regardless, you'll be fine. I'm sure you will. You should, you know, whenever you're done, whatever this is, Lyraleth, I think, was going to crack out some mushrooms later, so you should come join us. Maybe try to forget all this real shit.
Should I go home? Is this a mistake?
This is what a mistake.
Leaving? Like, should I just go back? How do you know if it's right?
What, leaving home?
Yeah. How do you know if it's a bad idea? I don't know if any of your ideas are bad ideas. Do I just have to wait for them to end badly?
You just have to wait for them to end. Whatever it's good or bad, you realize at the end of it. That's what life
feel
is.
Very.
Hey, if we all wanted a good life, we'd all just live with our parents until we all collectively died in the same second. That'd be an easy life, I suppose. You gotta brave out on your own. Do your own thing, you know? See the world. Make your own choices. Make your own mistakes. Hell, that's part of it.
Mistakes aren't very well received in my life.
Hey. A life without mistakes, it's not a life. Also, tag your it. He taps on the looks like me and Erevan are playing tag, and you're in now. Bye. And she scams up. Amazing. Meanwhile, downstairs.
If Atlas still hasn't turned up, Astra's gonna go back, go get the salve, and go down to her.
Is the pie still in on the plate, or is it moved to the bed?
I mean, I haven't gone got it.
Also, Cyrus's response to when you said
Not seeing another crew member just happily eating a second slice of dinner. Like, oh shit, food!
Cyrus's response to Atlas is on the wing would have been, I probably can't bring it to her there because wind, pie.
I feel like at that, Astra just nods and not scurries off, but walks off briskly.
I'm just imagining, like, Astra going in to get the salve and just, like, the fucking engineer walking out, like...
Or, like, if he goes to put a fork, like, put that down now.
Like, it's just
The bird needs-
sat there.
There's no way of reheating food on the ship, I suppose.
Just stick it back in a pot.
I can create a
pie.
bonfire.
Anyways, Astra will,
Creates tiny bonfire inside pie.
like, have the pie in one hand, have the salve in the other hand, like, gets the wings out and, like, flies down, like, here you go.
Atlas will take both from you, hold out her hands, and just drop them both off of the ship.
Astra dives down for both of them. She's got her wings. Can Astra make it? If she's quick enough?
Yeah, if you throw yourself off. Yeah, I mean, like... Roll me just a dex check.
Oh, no, they're gone. 4. Or
You,
she'll
like...
keep going if it takes it longer.
You panic and, like, throw yourself off, and, like, you beat your wings to, like, steady yourself, and as you do so, they just fall out of your arm's reach, and you have to, like, throw yourself into a dive bomb. Make me one final dexterity check.
Okay.
Eight.
Not doing.
You dive down, like, far, like, you fall a couple of 100 feet, like, trying to, like, you know, pull yourself in as tight as you can to go with it, just to catch up, but just, the wind just catches them and blows them and disperses them, and they just fall to bits.
While she's doing this, can I sneak off?
Make a stealth check.
220s.
Not as good.
Not as good at all.
Another
Astra,
nat 20 would have been
you-
hilarious.
beat your wings, and then fly back up. It takes you, you know, the guts of 30 seconds to make up the lost ground and link back up with the ship. And when you get back to the wing where Atlas is perched, she's gone.
Astra goes back down to lower left, makes another salve, puts it back on her bed, and then just goes to sleep herself.
Have you got a horrible infection or something? You know, I'm a doctor. You can tell me if, you know, you need help.
No.
What if you're
it's
applying this to? You do not need another one right now.
No, it's Atlas. She dropped the one I was going to give to her.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But if you are putting it on your skin or anything like that, like it, once a day is enough. You'll irritate it if you keep applying it.
No, I haven't put it on me. Didn't get a chance to.
That's fine.
It's like when you put pseudo-cream on a cut, just like an inch thick, like, heal me.
Yeah. Eventually, Lireleth will join the rest of you lot in the in like the like mass hall round table kind of setup there is, like, which, and it kind of like, to give you an idea, you're like on the middle deck. There's like a big communal table and all the hammocks and beds and bunks are all kind of like are around it. So it's this real communal crew space. And Moonshadow joins her, as does probably Nendir. The only ones who don't seem to show their faces are Galadris, who's probably still done engineering, the captain, Thalindra, and Erevan. Everyone else is kind of joins in, and yeah, you see that.
And Atlas, because she's still sulking somewhere.
I assume Atlas is there. Yeah, Lireleth begins, like, she begins brewing like a big pot of tea.
So,
How many eels are we in? How drunk is Volgear?
God almighty.
I'm not letting this go easily.
Right.
Roll con! Roll
If
con!
you're drinking to excess, Volgear, you may roll a Constitution saving throw.
I feel like
As
Cyrus.
a dwarf, you do have advantage because you have advantage
Cyrus,
against being poisoned.
I'm going to heads tails flip this because I don't know how quick Volgear is drinking. I feel like on one hand he wants to drink so he doesn't remember all the answers he gives, but I also don't think I also think he wants to drink slowly so he doesn't give away too much. So
I feel like
someone
Cyrus-
call
He's
it,
like
and
he's
I'll
like
kill.
constantly doing the thing where you like start like getting into it and drinking, and then you're like, wait, no.
I feel like Cyrus and Barrows are like drinking at a slower pace because they're like, we kind of want to
Odds or
remember
evens,
what he
guys?
says.
Odds.
Odds or evens.
Odds.
Right. Volgear's drinking to excess apparently.
Con save advantage because you're dwarven heritage. He should be good at this. You have to roll pretty fucking low.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he's fine. You watch. Volgear's on like pint 7. Cool as a cucumber. There's a little sway, but like he's crystal.
So where were we?
oh yes, your wife and the Dragonborn, and somehow
I
it's
believe
all
that's
mixed
two of your final questions of your
I-
singular question.
I believe that was only question 2. We still
That
have
was question
another
though. You
question to-
you gave
I
you
gave
gave
I
Cyrus
gave
some free questions.
I gave Cyrus 2 questions. You had already used 2 by that point.
So I've got
Used-
one question,
Yes.
Cyrus.
I have how many questions?
But that would be the last question.
was
You have,
asking
0
you.
questions.
I'm asking Barros, not
Nendir's
you.
like, ask him how big his dick is.
I like that every time I return to my chair, there's just like a shot of Cookie Monster face.
just for you,
So-
Laraleth.
No. I need to find out something.
You gotta roll
Look,
for it though.
I've not asked that. You can blame Nendir for that one, okay?
Volgear,
Yes.
my dear acquaintance.
I think we'd be friends by then.
What is your goal with this? You've run away from your planet, you've run away from your potential wife, you've got a hatred with a dragonborn of some kind.
A dragonborn of one kind. It's only
I believe he's called a
What's-
Dragonborn.
What's the goal?
Some might say I have no goal. Some might say my goal is to become stronger.
If you
Yes,
answer
I'm
anything,
not
I'll
quite
kill the
sure
fucking
myself.
dragon.
one. Yes,
Ever since that day, I have travelled, and I travel. I don't look back if I can avoid. But one day, I do aim to go back. Suppose maybe I'm travelling to become stronger, so I can go back.
well, you do realize that there is strength in numbers.
Yes, but This is not a strength in strength. This is a strength in reputation.
Well, there is no greater reputation than pirates.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely untrue.
And Cyrus is just gonna be like, "Excuse me," and he's gonna like lift the badge.
Oh, sorry, I meant privateers.
Thank you. You have an image to uphold now, Barros. The hero of that
God
place.
damn it. My old crew would be turning over if in their graves if they were dead.
If they were dead.
That's correct. You know, what you've done in OLL and Aerith, that is reputation. You've got some sway, you know. You know, the captain doesn't just take fucking... You know, we like cargo that doesn't talk back to us or fuck people up. Or try to run down chains and get themselves killed.
It was one time, and you got to admit, it was fucking cool.
Yeah,
but the
you're not
last
gonna have
time...
a time
It was
for
cool
the
until you fell off. Then you fell off. You fucked it, you know? You have to just say, I fucked it.
Cyrus was the one to remove the chain from the ship.
I didn't know you were off the ship until I was halfway with removing the chain. You can't blame that on
Why
me.
did you continue to remove chain?
You guys have the
Because-
communication of a married couple.
No. I was pointing at Barros.
I would take that as a very good
Is that a proposal?
sign.
No. No.
Moonshadow
Drink.
pours her like a second glass of wine and she sat down. She's drinking like a really like deep red wine.
I'm just saying, telling someone you were hopping on the chain that they were currently dismantling would have been a good step in the right direction, you know?
Listen, I've never met anyone who can pull ballista chains out of the side of ships like that, Cyrus.
You've met me.
Well, I have now.
Oh god, and now they're flirting like a couple who are yet to be married. My
It's
god.
all him. All of the flirting is on his end. I was.
No,
saying,
you
he
are
met me.
definitely you are setting this up.
He has met
Volga's going to
me.
start retching. So
He
the
has met
table.
me. I was physically capable of doing it, so you can't say you haven't met someone.
He's
who's
met
physically
you and you're
capable.
physically capable of doing it? My god,
No,
I mean, you are terrible. And you're saying he's flirting.
It's like something out of one of Ninmi's books. I could write about this, you know.
Are a bit more
Oh,
tame
you
than
should.
this
You
shit.
should. I would love to read it.
I'll call it the goat and the hunk.
No, no. It will
Barros
be
quits
the
his-
horny goat.
Barros quits his mission to kill his grandfather and instead becomes an erotica writer.
So,
So is the interrogation finished?
I
We're not
suppose so.
interrogating. We're just chatting.
We are. It's what friends do.
And on that note, Volga is going to pull out and go, right, time for you guys to catch up. And he's going to go over there and start bringing out pints after pint after pint until they start catching up with him.
I'll still
Liralev
drink a
begins
little
passing the
slowly.
tea around for everybody. And,
Oh no! I'm not gonna drink any more alcohol because we've got special tea to drink.
you got your
Suspicious
mushroom tea.
mushroom brew.
And Liralev is like, for those of you who've not had this before, get a buddy, probably someone who has. It'll last a little, about half an hour or so, and you should calm down. And then you can go again if you want. You can call it. It's fine. But just remember, it's only 30 minutes. If you're feeling
Cyrus?
rough, just...
You're
All I
right.
can think of is that fucking clip of him like hitting the chest.
Barros. He's a bit too handsy.
Do you remember that? The like goof thing?
Cyrus, you go with Vulgar. I'm going to find Atlas. I don't think she wants to miss out on this, no matter how salty she is.
I have a question. Would Cyrus have done this before? Has
I mean,
Volgear?
It's up to you.
Ooh,
Has Volgear done it before?
I don't know. That's a question.
I mean, that is a decision for you to make about your own characters and what they have done and what
What I
they've
do need
experienced.
to ask you, Harry, because one thing I've noticed that I've been trying to work out for ages.
Yep.
Where does Mond sit in the galaxy?
Vol, you're looking at a map like, I can point to my home planet, I swear.
It was right past this constellation
No,
on the
it's just-
left.
No, the
Or
reason
on
I
the
asked is
right.
because-
Or the center.
No, the reason I ask is because if you type it in, it just takes you back to the Expanse. It doesn't take you to a specific.
What system is it in?
Sorix. Is it Sorix Minor?
Storix Minor, so it's south
I'm
of
sure.
the map.
It's Source Minor in Strode. It's in the purple area.
It's
So
in the
you're
pink bit, isn't it?
you're technically
It's
in
the bit that's off my screen. That's why I couldn't see it.
you're in
There we go.
you're still technically an amalgamate space, but it's referred to as the oceanic sector because of the effect of the sanctuary of all the Onagua in the kite system. So the kite system is like a sanctuary, so they've surrounded that area of like, they're like, any ships that fly in there is very heavily controlled and locked down. They don't want to expose this, like, it's like in Star Trek where they have like the planets where like, yo, you don't interfere. It's kind of like that. Like, they've interfered so far, like with everyone they've met, and it's like, okay, well, what happens if we don't? Let's see. And there's like almost a little experiment.
So just
So
I
they're
can
not doing the Star
check.
Trek thing where they go, we're not going to interfere, and then they immediately
Interfere.
interfere.
They've definitely
every
done
time.
that. They've definitely done that
Plenty
multiple
of
times, and
them.
that's why so many people are in the amalgam.
So
Like,
the
okay, this
amalgamate
time we're
is-
definitely not gonna.
The amalgamate is the blue section.
Yes.
And the purple.
The purple is the oceanic sector, so that's their protected area. It's still
Yeah,
part of
so
we've
it's
amalgamate
got
space.
within-
Conic
yeah.
and
The
Green
same
Celestial.
way the Dakar cluster is also part of their space. With Vesper Australis, but the problem is there's like a heavy issue there on Pugna, which is like one of the planets, which is like really like if the people on that planet got like that's we shouldn't interfere, but also we interfere enough that if they ever fucking get off that planet, we kill them all. Like it's like that like level of
Yeah.
like they were they've surrounded a warmongering nation who they don't think would do good things.
Yeah. The green section is
The Draconid sector.
the Draconibs, and yellow is obviously
Yellow is the Celestial Reach.
Yeah, Celestial Reach. Okay.
The way I always remember. I was looking at this, and the first thing I thought was, oh, well, how did they get from there? And I forgot that they could go all the way there on the outside.
So that is
Space.
that's important to remember. There are
Space!
it's difficult to cross that close to the eye of the galaxy. So yes, a lot of journeys is you have to go a long way around.
I'm going
That
to
was my question, and that's you.
I'm
solved
gonna
it. Thank
call
you very
it
much.
and say Cyrus probably has done drugs before. Maybe not these drugs, but he's done drugs.
Yep, that's
I
fair.
think-
Because soldier, why not?
I think
Purely
maybe
because
Volgi has
we're on
maybe done
Twitch
some
right
things
now.
to drown his
Drugs aren't cool,
sorrows.
kids. Don't do drugs.
no,
he
don't do
doesn't
drugs.
really.
But
But if you are gonna do drugs, do it safely. Get a buddy. You know.
Do you have your exit buddy?
This message is brought to you by Ready Steady Crit.
Don't do drugs, but if you do them safely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are gonna do drugs either way. At least encourage them to do it. You know, responsibly.
sensibly,
Yeah.
sensibly and responsibly.
I think
Nobody
I
wants to
think
snort
Vol-
rat poison. You know?
Do not snort
Yeah.
rat poison.
Do
That
not
is a
take
message
bath
from
salts.
Ready Steady Crit.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say Cyrus probably has. So he'll be
yeah, same with
Volgir's-
Volgir.
Oh, we've both done it. So
I think Volgir's going to have done some things since he's left his own planet to try and forget about.
Volgir also was
Is
remember
shit.
is you are a Duragar, so mushrooms would be a
Common
Very
occurrence.
common
thing, yeah.
thing to find, and it may be
From
like
Martins.
and with the dwarvish natural resilience to these kind of things. Like
Vogue is just like, oh yeah, I use these in curry all
yeah,
the time.
these are great. These taste amazing.
Just eating them raw.
So
Just-
I've done. I've had trips
would
before.
would
I haven't-
Volgir realise that this is a species that he could eat, or just not be affected?
Make me a survival check.
Cool.
Everyone's there brewing the tea and Volker's
Yeah,
like
that's
eating them
another
raw.
one.
Like, I mean, they
He knows
taste
fuck all.
fine.
Volgir, you're not familiar. Most of the mushrooms you interact with are like bioluminescent, and their color gives a lot away, and how bright they glow and things like that. These are dried, like they're preserved. They're not fresh,
No.
so it's quite difficult to tell.
Volgir's like closing up on the cup, trying to make it really dark, trying to see if anything goes up on it.
Nothing's glowing.
He's looking at it going,
Vulgar, I believe you have to drink it. You can't smell the fumes. I think
it's not like any mushrooms that I know.
Okay, I haven't taken mushrooms before. I mean, there was this plant. It's seeds that you could crush up on Abaddon, and it made like a white powder, and we'd snort it.
1,
And
2, 3.
It would make you really like hyperactive.
He's doing coke.
What kind of trip is what is 30 minutes? What you said it lasts 30 minutes. What lasts?
It's a nice little hallucinogenic, you know, nice chill drug, you know. Go lie down, look at the stars, go and enjoy yourself, you know.
Never had anything like that before.
Anti-violence.
Just halfway through.
We don't do those kind of drugs
Cyrus's
on-
speech. Vulgar's just gonna down. Just go.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3.
Right, you two cuddle up and go watch the stars together. Very romantic. I'm going to go find Atlas and make
Knowing
sure.
Atlas, we'll find Atlas before you do.
Yeah, probably, but I at least want to make sure that she gets a cup of this tea. She's been looking forward to it all.
Get him on, Cyrus.
Yep,
Let's go find some stars.
Drink the cup. Follow Vulgar.
Nendir and Moonshadow both cheers their little cups together, and they do little, like, you know, they wrap your arms around each other and both drink, like that kind of thing. And they both do it, they go like,
Adorable.
and they put it down and go like, oh, it's gonna get weird.
Question. Do we actually make it to the deck?
Let's say we're gonna do con saves. I'm gonna say disadvantage if you decided your character has not experienced this before. Vulgar, yours will be a flat roll because of your natural poison resilience.
So
Is that if you've taken
disadvantage
drugs?
if you've taken these before, or if
Like-
you've taken anything?
It's more this kind of, if you've taken something similar to this kind of high, we would say you would, so because you've
If
not
you've done
done
shrooms.
yeah, shrooms versus coke is definitely not the same high.
I'm about to say
You kind of know
think
what you're going
Vulgar-
into versus not.
I want to give Vulgar a disadvantage on
Oh,
the first
Cyrus
one,
is
just because I
fucked.
feel like
Cyrus-
Vulgar's going into this with a
Cyrus
fake.
is going
fake-
for a ride.
Vulgar's going into this going, oh, it's a regular shroom. Oh, this will be fine. Just eat.
Go for it. Disadvantage him.
Yeah, Cyrus is probably like the
Oh, he's
you take
fucked.
and you're like, I have so much energy. Oh my god, this is like that's the stuff he's used to, not psychedelic.
He's just there with the shroom like, when do I start feeling hyper? It's like, you don't. He's like, you don't?
So like, to give you a
What
picture,
happens?
like Lireleth, Moonshadow, and Nendir are all like laid on their back on the table downstairs, like just chatting and just rambling about nonsense. Vulgar and Cyrus went to go look at the stars. They got halfway up the stairs, and now they're both stuck because the stairs seem to go on forever and they just grow. And anyone from third person looking in would see them both stepping and missing the step in front of them because they can't perceive it properly. So they're literally just walking on the spot, like with high steps on the stairway. Like, these stairs is going forever, man.
I
never
feel like
gonna reach
Atlas
it."
comes down from like the top deck and just walks past them without them even noticing.
No.
Just like registers it and is like,
Untrue. As Atlas comes past, you see this long black snake like slithers past on the stairs. Like, oh man.
Cyrus is probably gonna try and stamp on it.
And
Yeah,
now,
I
to make
think
it
both
fun,
is.
roll me a d4 on a 1 to 2. It's a bad trip. On a 3 to 4, it's a good trip.
1.
Go on, Cyrus.
What?
Oh no.
It's a bad trip, boys. You grab
Oh,
your
wait a
buddy.
minute.
You
Wait a
see,
minute,
you try to stamp on the snake, and it turns and bites your leg, and you scream and panic. And as Cyrus screams and panics, Vulgar, he turns into this giant lobster crab monster and begins like lashing in your direction. And you like try to swing and punch him, and then Cyrus and Vulgar come tumbling down the stairs together, as they are just like completely like not present at all, like wailing on each other terribly, not hurting each other in any way, but they are not having a good time. Meanwhile, on the table, Lariel, Nendir, and Lireleth are having a pretty good time so far. They haven't been hit as hard.
I will go and find Atlas with a cup of tea.
Stealth check.
Yeah, if you want to keep hiding, you can do. I think we probably take your previous 12.
Damn, because I got a 22 the next.
Sure, well, let's say you can keep 22, but I will give Beros advantage.
Oh.
I don't think you can beat it anyway with that +1.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, okay. Let's say Atlas roll me one more time just to give Beros a chance.
There we go.
Very hard to find, but eventually.
It takes him a long time. Enough time that, like, the other lot are probably about halfway through their trip. Where are you hiding out?
I can see you from there.
Maybe like down in the engine room because she figures no one would look for her down there.
Yeah. Galadrius is there and knows you're there, but Galadrius doesn't give a shit. He's like also giving you like 5 cigarettes.
Each time Alice is just like, thanks, and like tucks it into her pocket, and then like he comes around again, like,
It's like,
thanks.
wow, you smoke these really fast. Puts enough one in his own mouth.
Alternatively, she's just like, thanks, and like has her like unscrews the cap and just pushes the cigarette like down into the mask. Like close enough.
I think Beros will pop his head in. You'll probably be kind of, I don't know, hiding around the corner.
Every
Finding a
time you
little
hear a
gap.
thanks, it's like Marco Polo. Thanks. Oh, she's this way. Thanks. Oh, she's this way.
Smoggy in here.
I'll just pop my head round wherever you're hiding. I know you're feeling a little grumpy, but I brought some of that mushroom tea that Nendir made.
Beros, you hear Galadrius humming a song you recognize. He's humming the Amalgamate's like military anthem.
I would appreciate if we did not hum the anthem of those traitors. Nothing against you, but we have history.
Look, not my fucking beef, not my fucking problem, mate, right? It's how I keep my time.
You don't know any other songs?
He like slides himself out from the edge he's working on, like cracks his back, wipes his head. You're in my engine room, mate. If you want to fucking bitch and moan about what I do anywhere else in this ship, please, go right ahead. But don't fucking give me shit here.
Note taken.
If you don't like the
I'll be
song,
up
fuck off.
Maybe you should have this, and I'll pass the tea that was for Alice and just pass it to him.
He like looks at, leaves it on the ground next to him, slides back onto the engine, and you hear him ping snap something off, and like the wrenching of metal bending where it should not bend, and then you hear the humming begin again as he begins with like a ratchet wrench.
I'll leave my tea on the floor as well and go back down.
You come back and you see like Lilith there, and she's like laughing and stuff. And there's a few more cups and things. There's more in the pot if you wanted to get more for yourself. Yeah, you definitely. Beros gets a little stark reminder of reality in this moment.
Down the hall, he hears, "No, Death, I'm not ready to go. Get off me."
Cyrus is like
They're
curled
both
in a
just like,
ball.
eh.
I'll probably go and babysit.
I love the idea of them-
Olgir wears a hood, so that's what he's.
they're
he's
both, like-
transformed into the Grim
I love the
Reaper
idea that
form.
they're both like quite strong, but they're kind of moving in slow motion. So like they're going in with really hard hits, but by the time they get there, it's like, eh.
There's no strength behind it. Like it's like the arm flops into the other one.
I'll probably go up to the both of them and sit them down, lead them to the deck and just have them lie down and stare up the stairs.
Thing? Go away! I don't want to deal with you.
That's a big goat. I don't like it. No.
I'm here to get you to safety.
It talks, and I can understand it. I feel like Atlas.
Good heavens! This, they're acting very bizarre. The Drake
yeah,
says.
the Drake,
I understand the Drake.
No, but you do think he's talking.
Oh God, I heard it. He's got a weird voice. Why is he German? What's German? Why is he
Elvish.
Elvish?
You're on the Elvish planet. What elf has spoken a German accent?
I don't know.
I wonder who would be German in the world.
Give me a race that's German.
Probably
Yeah, I was gonna say this is gonna set it.
Giantkin is definitely like Russian.
Giants.
Sure, yeah.
Why is he speaking giant?
Das ist nicht so gut. Nein, nein! Du bist ein Kleiner!
You've killed him. He's dead.
Go on. Need more air in this room.
Oh.
Cyrus is having a bad time. I'm having a great time.
While this is all happening, Alice, anything you were doing?
I'll ask the engineer if he wants to do the mushroom tea.
He like looks at what he's doing, goes, "Yeah, fuck it." Slides his stuff out. Probably not gonna remember what I was doing before. Grabs it.
I would advise not working on the ship.
No promises. Taps the mug to the mug on the floor, and he takes a little sip. Oh, that's brewed a long time. It's going a little bit lukewarm. Get it down quick.
Atlas will drink hers too.
Now we just wait. On save.
$13.
Takes a little bit of time. Eventually you do begin to feel yourself giving in. Things shifting around you. It's it's pleasant. It's not like
Not terrifying giant goats.
well,
who
if
speak
you're 13,
German.
you guarantee yourself a good trip. So
Okay.
you do not feel the DC. It still affects you.
Yeah.
It's a good, and you see the world shifts and turns, and the moving parts of the engine just like where before they move and twist and like always keep moving almost back and forth. They also begin to move eternally and spiral like down your vision and get infinitely long, and yeah, it's mind altering. You see, the Galactus doesn't appear to be very affected in it, but it's hard to perceive him properly because your vision is so skewed by what's happening around you. But he's you know, he doesn't make a big fuss. He's not having a bad time. He doesn't set you off, and he just kind of is present with you, you know. And you don't have a bad time, so he doesn't really need to intervene or support.
We're just chilling.
Probably them just sitting next to you and just keep smoking. Betos. You're babysitting the babies.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is probably the first time like he's had confrontation for a long time. That he's not drove his sword like deep into the person that's confronted him.
But he's
so
considering it.
a little bit, but
He's like, what if I just stabbed him?
So I think after they've come down, he'll probably go and have a cup of tea. He'll put one to the side, but he'll wait until these two come out of their trip first.
Yeah. And they
Considering
do,
it's a
after
battle.
about 25 minutes, 30 minutes, they do begin to come down. And Moonshadow, Nendir, and Liraleth are all kind of around the same time. We're in the same like 10-15 minute window. Moonshadow like stretches, is like, right, I'm going to bed. I'm done. I need to sleep. Sleep. I think she goes like climbs up into her hammock, and then Deer probably also joins. Liraleth like goes to the kitchen, makes herself like a coffee, like trying to like perk herself up, just make sure everyone's all good. She does a little check on those who are kind of in the surrounding area, and then she also retires herself down to bed.
I think Volga's gonna head off to bed.
Cyrus will probably sit up with Barros, but not take another cup of tea. You watched after me, I'll watch after you.
One giant goat is enough.
I've done this before, but I don't know the sauce, so I appreciate it.
He'll pour himself an eel, though. He'll be like, I need to fucking wash that tea out of my mouth.
And I will
Your mouth is
drink
dry
tea.
like the desert.
Why are you?
I'll probably set up on deck, probably just kind of off to the side, like enough that I can kind of see everything.
Make me a con save, Barros.
$14.
It's a good trip. You ride it through. You see the colors and the stars shifting and twisting. The odd lamplight on the deck kind of like spiraling into its own existence into that almost like fracture. Yeah, it's pleasant.
You don't seem to be freaking out much. What do you see?
Everything's just a little bit warped. When I've done this before, I like to sit on the open decks of ships and I draw pictures of the stars. You allow your mind to manipulate what you see.
Well, I did not enjoy that experience. Saw some
The
weird shit.
first time is always a little bit harder. I thought maybe Vulgar being a dwarf and being familiar with hallucinogenics and mushrooms may have been able to support you. That's why they have a buddy system. They often say that your innermost your inner chaos comes out, and it tries to calm it, but if it does not succeed, then it goes a little huey.
I was wrestling with death. What do you think that means?
It probably means deep down that you're just scared of the unknown. And for you, the unknown is death. It's how your people have always been. I've met a few war junkies.
I don't think it's we're afraid of death. I think it's more we're afraid of dying but not staying dead.
No, I don't mean that in a literal sense. I think you're scared of the unknown, and the unknown to your people is death. As in, the idea of going out and doing something that goes against their nature is a social death.
Well, I was never very social, so maybe it's a hereditary thing.
Your father, you don't have a good relationship with him, no? This is where a lot of your issues come from, yes?
Yeah.
You've mentioned him a handful of times, and it's always been with resentment, never love.
He's very proud man, and I guess on a few levels I just never measured up. It's a stressful environment for a child to grow up in.
I can imagine.
Oh, someone's got daddy issues. You hear from Erevan.
At least
I
I've got a
didn't.
face.
I have a
Every-
face. There's not one worth showing.
Everybody has some issues, whether or not they're daddy issues, mommy issues, authoritative issues,
Grandfather issues.
grandfather issues. But he literally kidnapped my mother, so I think it's different.
Atlas, have you at my street?
He might be.
Atlas is like, come up, like.
No,
"Ooh."
I'm not there. I just had to jump in.
I don't know about the grandfather yet.
You don't.
I'll probably say, like Barris will probably say, like even I have issues with my family, albeit it was a literal sense that he kidnapped my mother, but
He?
I don't necessarily believe he's an evil guy, just I think my brain has always seen it that way because he took something that was mine.
If
Wait,
your
your
dad
your
kidnapped your
father
mum,
kidnapped
that's
your
not a
mother?
good relationship. That's bad.
No, sorry, my grandfather.
Oh.
Her
on-
father.
That's weirder
Oh.
somehow. Like your dad's dad or your mum's dad?
My mom's dad.
Yeah.
Your mum's dad kidnapped. Okay, that's less weird at least. It's his own daughter. Oh, that might make it
little-
weirder, to be honest.
A little
So-
rundown. So my mother is human. My grandfather, Xander Mason, is a lieutenant within the Amalgamate Navy. He did not approve of the marriage between my mother and my father. Maybe a little bit racist, but I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. This was before I was born. I was still very young when this all happened. He did not approve of the marriage for whatever reason, and he thought he needed to rescue my mother. He thought he was doing the right thing, and being the child that I was, he took away my mother. And, you take away something that you love, and you go to the ends of the earth for it, especially your family.
Don't waste your time with humans. They've all got themselves a little bit backwards. They don't really see the point of the amalgam as a whole. I think if they could do without it, they would.
I mean, I would say family is overrated, but I'm not going to give you another existential crisis.
You didn't. I think I'm coming into the truth. Starting to think on my own, not chasing a nightmare that I've created. Being out of the environment of being around pirates and chasing a ghost, it's probably allowed the clouds to clear a bit. That is all. Don't blame yourself for my change. Change is good. I'm a little less insufferable now, apparently. When all you do is chase death and kill things, then doesn't leave much room for personality.
Well, if it's any consolation, I like the new Barrows.
I do too.
Good.
And we're finally getting shit out of Vulgar. Fuck me, it was
I know,
difficult
Jesus.
being in the same room as him sometimes. No offense to him, but
Man's like an elven safe. There's just no fucking breaking into it.
I broke into an elven safe. That's a very bad comparison. They're pretty easy.
No, they got all those little dials. The little.
They rely too much on magic.
Yeah, well, I'm not very.
They're
skilled at
very brittle with the right explosives.
that. Huh.
Don't ask me how. Long story. Hey, we were talking about you. I don't know why we're talking about me all of a sudden.
That's your
You and
problem, man.
daddy
You're always
issues.
fucking so self-centered.
Probably. I'm working on it.
I don't mind.
And how about you, Mask Boy?
What
You
about
don't
me?
You don't speak to anyone. You don't interact. You know. You're a little cold-shouldered at the best.
People don't really have much to offer me anymore. I like to kill people. I enjoy it. Left home when I was young. Because I killed people. Keep killing people now. Good at what I do.
At least you find a healthier outlet.
What,
Man,
murder? Like, I like killing people too, but that sounds a little bit intense.
I collect heads. And if the heads are too big, I collect faces.
That explains the mask.
Yes, based on the first person I did kill. Took some
What is his-
artistic liberties.
What's his mask look like?
His mask looks like the elvish features of like a Shadowkai, but it's not his face. They're chiseled slightly differently. There's similarities to his like elvish form, but it's hard to tell how similar it's supposed to be.
Well, I
Firefall.
suppose.
Oh,
Sorry, go on.
No, sorry,
no,
just gonna lean into Barros and be like, does all of it stem from face envy?
I mean,
Taking heads and faces?
well, it's either that or he's just a sadistic bastard and he likes it. I don't look too deep into these things.
You want to see a trick? Who's tripping right now? You're tripping, right? He looks at the Barros.
A little bit, yes.
Cool. He points his finger at you, and from his hollow strap, a holographic projection of a like crossbow appears, and then it fires a blast of energy, and he's gonna try to shoot it over your shoulder.
Okay. See if I get hit.
See you hit in the fucking face.
This is how Barros dies.
A 10, I think, will be just enough to avoid. What's your AC?
15.
Cool. Yeah, a 10 goes over easy. Seals past you. It's close, but like, yeah. And after about 60 foot, the like projectile just vanishes.
That is one hell of a trick.
Yeah, it's a pretty good adaptation. He taps on the crystals and it collapses back into the hollow strap.
It's a shame that I've done this before. If you'd got Cyrus, he would have shit himself.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
You throw a knife at him if you want.
He's not tripping anymore. I don't think he'd appreciate
I
it.
think he might still shit himself if I threw a knife at him.
Probably.
Yeah. Let me throw a knife at you?
Go for it.
And I can try to hit you? It's not like you want me to hit you.
Oh, wait.
Takes a drink.
Alright.
I'll take the ale from Cyrus and plant it on his head. Hit the.
It's like
the cup.
resting against the horn.
Alright, sure. Hang on.
Onto the horn.
And he takes his he's like a small dagger or like a knife, and he like throws it, trying to knock the thing off. What's your AC, Cyrus?
My AC is... I wouldn't be wearing the shield at the moment, so it's currently 14.
14. He throws it, and it just like misses it by a little tiny bit, just wings past as he like almost it went too far. He adjusted too far away to avoid like clipping your horn, and then soars over. Ah, damn. He didn't hit you.
Pretty good throw, though.
I think I cut some of your hair, to be honest. Sorry.
That's
a
fine.
little bit of a, like a, ooh, right down the middle. Kind of like a monk.
Cyrus's head is half shaved, so is it like hair, a little line, and then hair?
Does Cyrus start tapping his head? Like, to
No,
feel?
he probably just like...
Yeah.
Where?
Your hair is all seems intact relatively.
Just fucking with you.
So, back to your daddy issues.
I don't want it to be the only thing we talk about.
Well, we talked about my issues, so
And you just
I-
hear from Boris, Volga's gone miles away. And you talked about my issues.
He,
all I want to know is was it that bad that you felt you had to leave, or did something else drive you?
I technically didn't leave him. When I was young, he sent me to Abaddon. I was born on feud. And He had been a general, got leave of absence, met my mother, had me. He, I don't know, had some kind of grand scheme in his head. I'd be the greatest warrior or some bullshit like that. And when I started to develop my horn, he kind of saw it as poor breeding. He's a tiefling. So he thought, as an ASMR, I would grow 2 horns, wings like him. Didn't have a tail, just part of the deal, I guess. And yeah, I wasn't the strongest and I wasn't the fastest. And then I had 1 horn. I basically just became a bastard in his eyes. So he sent me to Abaddon while I was still a child. And it's basically a world of war. It's learn fast or die. I got sick of the fighting in it. Everybody lives like every day's their last. Because every day could be your last. I wanted to know more. See more. Experience something other than just constant fighting. And so I fled.
I don't think you fled. I think they abandoned you. And you simply moved on.
Yeah, I doubt anybody else on that planet will see it as that. They live for the cause. They die for the cause.
Well, then
Whether
they'll
I-
die for
Oh,
their
well,
cause, and you will
some-
live.
Some won't. I've seen people warped after death. They come back twisted. It's... The demons do things to you. And I didn't want to become just another rank in their army. Because it's only a matter of time before you do.
I get that. I think freedom is important to a lot of people, and I think that's one of the things that binds all of us together as friends. I think deep down everyone just wants a way out from their old life and a way to become the person they want to be. I mean, look at Atlas.
No,
She thinks the whole world is on her shoulders.
it's something I admire about her, you know, she's finds something to fight for, to risk a lot for. She believes her planet is worth saving. You know, the places I grew up, they weren't exactly pleasant, or I don't see how they could instill loyalty or hope in people. Whereas Atlas believes that her world will change, her world will get better, and it will be a beautiful place to live again. It's a beautiful dream. It's a beautiful goal, and she's risking a lot to do it. I just didn't feel the same about my homeworld. I want to see why we are literally going through hell.
I think Atlas is her own person, her own dreams, but I think you'll find soon enough the reason for your existence. It'll come to you. We'll throw ourselves into some situation